Hello once again and welcome to my YouTube channel, SuperTechQC. We're going to use natural language formulas to create frequency and probability, and we can use those for frequency charts, and when we get the formulas for probability we can use that to create a bell curve. This is video 1 of 3 in modeling data. We're going to use natural language formulas, and what do I mean by that? Well, for example, we can highlight all of these right here, these cells, and if you notice I have acronyms and short names for all the things that it represents over here so that I can create names. So I'm going to go to Insert, Names, Create, and Left Column. Okay. Now let's do Control F3 to see if it got in there. And sure enough, it did. If you'll look, they're not in the same order, they're in alphabetical order, but the same, they all got in there and they represent the cells right next to them, the cells in the D column. Okay, we like that. So let's enter some numbers in so we can get started. We'll say for our upper specification limit, we'll say 101. Our lower specification limit will say 99. So our target will equal the average of those two. We'll say average. Okay. And since we have natural language, what we can do is we can say USL, comma, LSL. Now we know that it's going to average those two that we have represented in those two cells. Let's see what happens. So it did. It used the name of that cell and the name of that cell to get that one. Okay, now our next trick is to, in our random data setup for doing modeling data, what we want to do is have the number of decimal places. 100 would give you 2 decimal places, 1,000 would give you 3 decimal places. So let's put 1,000 in there. Okay. Now, you want to set this up just like this. You want to set up these headers, line numbers, and z-scores. These are all constants right here, 4 through -4, and you can do that right there. That's very important that you get those z-scores. Okay, now for our data, what we're going to do, I've set up kind of a landing spot for our random data. I've got dates up here. I got that equals now, that's now plus 1, or C2 plus 1, and so on. So let's get our random data equals rand between, and that'll give us a random number. And if you look what it's going to do, it's going to want the bottom number first, which is LSL times DEC, comma, our top number, which is upper specification limit, or USL, times DC, and close parentheses, divided by D. Oh, DEC popped up. I'm just going to hit enter. There we go. All right. And if you press Control Shift F9, it should recalculate each time. Okay. So now that we have this random formula with our natural language formulas right there, you can see everything that's going on. That's our lower specification limit, our decimal, and upper specification limit. So let's copy this over, all the way over. Come on, go. Well, it's not wanting to go over. Let's keep going. Okay, a little more. I don't know why it's not going all the way over automatically. Okay, once it gets populated on the top line, you can put your cursor right there and turn it into a cross and double click, and it should populate the whole thing. Cool. Okay, there's another way to make names, and while all of this is highlighted, all these numbers, and you see in the name that's using C3 through V22 is all these formulas. And by the way, if you press Control Shift F9, the whole thing recalculates. It recalculates all the random numbers. But we're going to change this in our small name box right here. We're going to call this Data 1. Okay, enter, enter. Okay, Data 1 represents this whole array of all these numbers. And I don't know how many. I think it's about 400. Let's look and see. Okay. We'll find that out in a minute. Okay, the mean, that's the average of data 1. It says data 1. I hit enter. It pops up. Bam. Okay. Standard deviation, STDEV. That is the function, not STDV, which is the name. So I'll put data 1 there. Okay. And it gives us a standard deviation. And this is the population of data. So I'm just going, this is just for reference count. Data 1. Enter, enter. Okay, so we have 400 samples there. Okay. In video number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to use all this random data, our modeling data that we have set up, and this information right here to create names over here for this and create the formulas for that. Watch video 2 of 3.